So we're going to start today standing. So if you come to the front of your mat. So to come to the front of the yoga mat, take one step back. Bring your feet to hip distance. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Little squeeze of the glutes. Engage in the quads. And just closing your eyes and turning your palms so they face outwards. Just take a moment here. So really rooting down through your feet. Just maybe imagining that you're like a reed in the ocean and just allowing the water to move you here and there. So just swaying around, moving your weight around on your feet. So maybe picking your toes up, picking them down, really pressing your toes into the ground, maybe rocking onto your tiptoes, and then back to your heels and lifting up the toes. So we want the whole of the feet, so the toes, the ball of the foot, the outside edge, and the heel to be on the ground, just lifting through the arches of the feet. So coming up the legs, just engaging the quads, engaging the muscles in your glutes and pulling in through the core. Let's take a big breath in as we roll the shoulders up and back. And exhale. Bring them back down, exhale through your mouth. Two more of those. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. Squeeze them together, exhale. Let them come away from the ears. And one more time, inhale. So bring your hands to your heart center. Just bringing your thumbs onto your sternum. Popping the eyes closed if it feels comfortable for you. Otherwise, if it doesn't feel very balanced, you can just find something still to look at on the floor. Just focusing in on your body. So maybe you can feel your heart beating against your thumbs. Start to deepen into the breath, so inhaling in through the nose into the tummy. Up into the chest and exhaling through the nose. So making a little restriction at the back of the throat, maybe creating an audible breath, ujjayi breath. Sounds like waves in the ocean. Observing pauses between the breaths. Elongating into each inhale and exhale as we go. Just going to take 5 breaths in and out in your own time. So using your diaphragm and your pelvic floor to squeeze the last of the air out of that exhale. Okay, so just taking this last inhale and exhale. So we finish all together. Exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. Inhaling to reach the arms up. And exhale, let's side bend over to the right. So just sliding the left arm or the right arm down your leg, reaching up and over. Inhale, come back up to center, and exhale to come the other way. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, bringing your elbows down towards your ribs, opening your chest, maybe looking up. Inhale to reach up, and exhale, bring your hands down. We're just going to roll through the spine, so chin to chest, and vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming down, bending your knees as you go, resting your torso on your thighs and maybe holding on to your elbows and just swaying side to side in ragdoll. So fingertips to the floor or to your shins. Inhale is going to be a halfway lift, so make sure you pull it up from the quads to protect your knees. Exhale, folding into the legs. See if you can keep your legs straight, otherwise bend your knees as much as you need to. Just looking back. Between your knees. Inhale, bend your knees. Then exhale, rolling back up. So tailbone tucks, stacking your vertebrae one at a time. Shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus the arms. So bring the elbows in, opening the chest. Inhale. And this time with a nice flat back, folding forward. So keeping the muscles in the legs nice and tight, belly back to spine, rib cage drawn in, folding into your legs. Inhale is a halfway lift. Your exhale is going to be plank. So step back into plank and just hold your plank. So just being aware that you're not sagging into your shoulders, so really pushing into the ground. You can take a few of these movements actually, where you just allow your chest to drop and lift. So it's only a really small movement here, but just getting the shoulders engaged and muscles around the joints protected. Make sure that you're nice and long through the back of the neck. Let's just have one more inhale and exhale. And lower into our knees. Along the floor on the left. Exhale down. Coming back to your knees, tuck your toes, and let's come to downward facing dog. So feet are at hip distance. Your gaze is back between your feet or between your knees. Engaging the muscles in the quads, belly button pulled into spine, rib cage is engaged. Shoulders are open, so think of rolling your biceps up towards the ceiling and pressing the fingertips and the knuckles and the thumbs down into your mat. You can give your head a little shake here. Big inhale, imagining the breath along the spine. Exhale to deepen, so maybe the heels come closer to the ground and the tailbone comes closer to the ceiling. Look between your hands and let's just take lots of little steps to the front, bending your knees as you go and coming back to that ragdoll. Just resting the backs of your hands on the ground, releasing the tension in the neck. Take a breath in here. Exhale, let's roll up. Nice and slowly, tucking the tailbone, stacking the vertebrae, shoulders up and down last. Let's take some shoulder rolls. So really rolling up to the ears, back and down. Let's come the other way. Okay, next inhale, reaching up. And exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. For your inhale, exhale, step back to plank. This time we're not holding, we're coming straight down. So hinging at the elbows, keeping your elbows grazing your ribs, and tuck your toes and you get to the bottom. So easy cobra, or taking some weight through the hands and coming up to a low lift cobra. So nice bend to the elbows, squeezing the elbows into the rib cage. Tuck your toes, lift your knees and push back to downward facing dog. Or come through child's pose, whichever suits you best. Take a nice big inhale here, feel that breath along the spine. And exhale just to deepen into the posture. Looking between the hands, either little baby steps or one big step to the front. Come straight to a halfway lift as soon as you get there and fold. Maybe folding a bit deeper now. We've warmed the backs of the legs up a bit more. Inhale, let's come all the way up. And exhale, hands down to the heart center. Just releasing the hands down to your side. Just take some loose twists for your spine. So not engaged through the tummy here at all. Just warming up the back. The social distance swing. One way to know if you've got a 2 meter distance between people, you know. So let's come back to center. Take a big breath in as you reach out, keeping the rib cage tucked in and avoiding poking the butt out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. And lower, all the way down to your mat. Knees down if you need to. Untuck the toes. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, pushing the elbows closer to straight. Try not to lock the elbows. Tuck your toes. Your exhale is downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale, deepen. Look between the hands, taking a big step to the front, maybe using the opposite leg to the one you used last time. Halfway lift on the inhale and exhale is fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, vertical twist. So bringing the left arm forward and the right arm back. So your hips are going to want to follow the arms. So bumping that right hip forward. Feel this in your core. Inhale up. Exhale the other way, right arm forward, left arm back, bumping the left hip forward. Inhale up, One more on each side. Exhale, twist. Inhale up. Exhale, twist in the other way. And up. And exhale, folding into your legs. Halfway lift for the inhale and exhale, stepping back to plank. Maybe lowering halfway down if it's in your practice, and tucking the toes and coming to upward facing dog. So the tops of the feet and the hands are the only thing touching the ground. Really using your core, lifting the hips, pushing back into the heels for downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale, release. Look between the hands, the option to hop. You can come up onto your toes, bend your knees, big squat. You just pop forwards, landing, coming straight into halfway lift. And folding into your legs. So just taking a few breaths here in a forward fold. Finding whatever feels good for you and your body. Maybe holding on the elbows, maybe interlacing your hands and just bringing your hands to the base of your skull and pulling down. Maybe just resting the backs of the hands on the ground and just allowing gravity to pull you forwards. Okay. So from here, we're going to take chairs. So if you bring your toes together, create some space between the heels. Sit back into your heels. So bringing the weight backwards so you can pick your toes up and give them a wiggle. On the inhale, we're just going to lift the arms up. This isn't comfortable in the shoulders, hands at the heart center. So bringing the weight back into the heels, make sure you can see your toes. Make sure that your tailbone isn't poking out, so keeping the tummy muscles nice and engaged. Take a big inhale, reach your hands up. As you exhale, sweeping them back, squeezing the triceps and opening the chest. Inhale up and exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. For the inhale, exhale, step back with the left foot, drop the knee, coming into crescent moon pose. So squeezing the thighs as though they were going to touch. Inhale, reaching the hands up. Our exhale is going to be half split, so bringing the hands down to the ground. Exhale, leaning back and bringing the leg as close to straight as is comfortable. Inhale, coming forwards, tucking the back toe, lifting the knee for low lunge. Exhaling, planting the left hand, and your next inhale is a twist. So twisting the elbow, shoulder, elbow, wrist of the right hand. As you exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank and take a vinyasa or meeting downward facing dog. As ever, it's your class, so you can go as much as you'd like. So looking between the hands, little steps, one big step or a hop to the front. Halfway lift is the inhale and exhale to fold. So looking down at your toes, prepping for chair pose, so toes are touching, space between the heels, sit back into your heels and lifting your arms up. So really engaging your core. Every exhale, really squeezing your belly button a little bit closer to your spine, really engaging your pelvic floor. So big inhale, reaching the arms up. As we exhale, come up onto the tiptoes and squeeze the triceps. So same as before, this time balancing on the tippy toes. Big inhale and exhale, focus. So let's see if we can come all the way up on the tiptoes and dropping the heels, forward fold. Inhale is a halfway lift. The exhale is a big step back with the right foot, dropping the knee down. Same on this side. Imagine squeezing the thighs towards one another and inhaling the hands up. Big inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down and straighten the leg. So half splits. Inhaling, coming forwards, tucking the back toe, planting the right hand and as on the next breath in, twisting towards the knee. So shoulder, elbow, wrist together eventually. Bringing the hands back down to the mat. Step back to plank and take a vinyasa. Good stuff. So have a breath or two in downward facing dog. Refocus. Recenter, and we're going to get on with this flow. So look between your feet, the gap in between your 2 feet, step your left foot into that gap and lift the right leg up. So your toes will face the ground, so you're not opening the hip, you've got the hips in alignment. And you can point and flex that right foot. So let's point the toes, see if you can lift the leg a bit higher, flex and point. And let's roll forward. So next exhale, rolling forward, see if you can touch your nose with your knee. Inhale, come back. 2 more times, exhale forwards. Inhale up. 1 more, exhale forward. Lift, 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 and step between your hands. If your foot doesn't get there, then just pick it up and put it there. Just put the knee down, inhale up, crescent moon. Exhale, half splits. Inhale forwards, tucking the back toe, coming into low lunge. Left hand plants, inhale, right arm up. That twist. Exhale, circling the arms round. Lift both hands up off the ground. Prepare for crescent lunge. So really, really engage those legs. Inhale up for crescent lunge. Again, imagining squeezing the thighs together just to get the hips in alignment. You can look up at your hands. You want to challenge your balance a little bit more. Just 1 more breath here. The exhale is warrior 2. So again, just take a moment just to check in with your alignment. Make sure you can see your big toe. Back foot is pressing down. Both legs are active. And just gazing over the front fingertips, strong arms. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, reach. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheeling the arms round to the ground. Step back to plank and lower for a vinyasa. Or skip the vinyasa and meet the downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Curl your legs. Move how you need to, just taking a few moments here just to refocus before we do the other side. Okay, so looking at the gap between the feet, stepping the right foot into that space and inhale up with the left leg. So toes facing down so that you keep your hips in alignment. And let's point and flex that toe. Really engaging through the core. So point the toes so you can lift the leg a bit higher. Flex and point, flex and point. Okay, big breath in. On the exhale, roll forward, bring your knee to your nose. So really lift, use your core. Inhale, come back. Exhale, through. Tap. Inhale, back. 1 more time, exhale. Come forward, lift as much as you can. Step between your hands. Back knee rests down. Untuck the toe. Inhale up for crescent moon. Exhale, half splits. Your inhale, we're pop tucking the back toe, coming straight forward into low lunge. Planting the right hand, and the next inhale is going to be a twist. Twisting towards the leg. Exhale, circle the arms round, and come all the way up into crescent lunge. So again, that activation of the hips, lifting the arms up. So hands are above the shoulders, try not to have the arms spread too wide. Just finding your alignment here. So 1 more inhale. Your exhale is going to be warrior 2. So the back foot and the front leg are both engaged. Looking for the big toe, just for the side of the left knee. So actively pressing that knee out. Really pulling down through the tailbone. Try not to poke your bum out. Pull the rib cage in. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, reach. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, cartwheel the hands around. Low lunge, step back to plank and vinyasa. Up dog or cobra, sitting back into child's pose. Just taking a few breaths in your child's pose here. So let's come up to a little bit of core. So bring yourself round onto your back, sitting yourself up nice and tall, nice straight spine. Hold on to the backs of the knees, lean back and lifting the feet up off the ground. So you can hold on to the backs of the knees, or you can release your hands, trying to keep the chest lifted so we're not rounding the spine. Back is nice and straight, and just holding here. Let's take a low boat. So see if you can hover your heels and your shoulders. Inhale, come back up. Another low boat. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Trying to keep those shoulders relaxed and a nice fist-shaped gap between your chin and your chest. So you're not squashing the front of your neck. So 2 more of these. And the last one. Ooh, coming all the way back up. Let's roll back. Come back forwards. Cross the legs. Hands come down. Come to plank. And take a vinyasa. Good stuff. Back in the downward facing dog. Looking between the hands, walking, stepping, walking to the front of your mat. Halfway lift when you get there. Exhale into fold. Let's come all the way up to standing. Bring your hands together at the top. And exhale, hands down to your heart center. So we're going to balance. So taking the weight into the right foot first. So just bringing the weight onto the right leg, just bringing yourself onto the tiptoe of the left foot. So whenever you're ready, lifting into standing start. So find something still to look at. If this leg doesn't work for you, remember we've always got the other side. So just try and stay nice and relaxed. And we're going to twist. So bringing the right hand onto the left knee and twisting. So it's very difficult for your gaze to follow your hand. Really try and look back over your shoulder. Ooh, falling over myself. Let's come back to center. Lift the arms all the way up. Exhale, coming into airplane pose. So the back leg comes out, arms come alongside the body with the palms facing down, squeezing the triceps. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, slow as you can. Leg down. Try and get the hands and the foot to touch the mat at the same time. Step back, plank. Take a vinyasa. Looking between the hands. Walk, step, up to the front. Coming straight to a halfway lift. You can get there. And folding into your legs. All the way up on the inhale to standing. Hands drawn at the top. And bring your hands down to your heart center. So balancing on the other leg now. So getting yourselves prepared, focused. Find that still point you're going to look at. Bring the weight onto the left side now. Come up onto the tiptoe. So this is my good side for balancing and my right is terrible. You might be the other way around. You might actually have both sides down. See where you're at. So come up into standing stuff. Establish your balance first. And when you're ready, bringing the left hand to the right knee and just twisting. So you might just want to follow that where your gaze is taking you to the side. Maybe you can look over your shoulder. Down that arm. Oh dear. Okay, let's come back to center. Find your balance again. And just come into airplane pose. So tipping forwards. Back leg comes out, toes facing down to the ground, squeezing the triceps. A couple of breaths here. And exhale nice and slowly. Bringing your foot down. Same time as the hands. Step back to plank and lower. Chaturanga. Facing dog and child's pose. So forehead down to the mat. Just resting here. Rocking your head side to side. If your forehead doesn't touch the mat, then stacking the hands or the fists. Start to slow the breathing down here. So inhale, just lifting your body up. The exhale is going to be a thread the needle. So spread your knees a little bit wider than your shoulders so you can get a bit deeper. Stretching the right arm underneath the left. Shoulder and ear come down to the mat, reaching up and over with the other hand. Just stretching the back of the shoulder. Nice long inhales and exhales. Inhale, bring the right arm out, and your exhale is going to be the same stretch to the other side. So stretching the left arm under, so the shoulder and the ear come down. You're opening that right shoulder. So you could maybe gaze up towards the ceiling instead of resting your arm on your face. Try and stay open and twisting. Inhale, come all the way back. Walk your hands in towards your knees. Bring your knees together and the tops of the feet flat to the floor. Just taking a chest expansion here. So interlace your fingers behind you. Press the back of your fingers into the back of your hands. Inhale and open your chest. And as you exhale, holding yourself along your thighs and lifting hands up and over. Trying to pull the shoulders away from the ears as you lift. So we're not like scrunching all around the neck. We're still nice and open. You can sway side to side with the shoulders. See what feels good. And release on an exhale. Just spend a moment there with your hands alongside your body, just allowing your shoulders to just melt forwards. Next inhale, just lifting yourself up. Swiveling yourself so that your legs are on the mat with your toes facing up towards the ceiling. Engaging through the quads. Inhale, reach up. You're going to take a forward fold. So folding forwards. See if you can fold your tummy and your chest along your legs. If you need to bend your knees, then bend your knees as much as you need to achieve this. Then bring your chin to your chest. So feeling a stretch down the whole back of the body. So if you're just feeling this in your hamstrings, bend your knees so you can get a good stretch down the back of your neck and your spine as well. Inhale, come all the way up. Bringing the feet together, just taking a little stretch for the hips. Pressing the knees down. Scoot your body nice and close to your heels. Holding onto the feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, maybe tipping forward. Actively pressing the knees down. Just tip forward to wherever is comfortable for you. You might not get much of a tip. You might get quite far forward. So just try not to judge yourself. And just allow your body to take the stretch that it needs. Inhale, coming all the way up, stretching your legs out in front of you, reaching your arms up, and exhaling to come backwards. So making C-shaped spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, using your tummy muscles. You can pop your elbows down if you need to. So let's take a nice big full body stretch when we get here. On the exhale, just hugging your knees into your chest. So we're just going to take a twist each way, and then we're going to take Shavasana. So bringing your arms out into a capital T, bringing your legs into a tabletop. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, dropping your knees over to the right. So as ever, if your back is tight, bring your knees more in alignment with your hips, or you can just allow your knees to stagger, or you can bring your elbows up towards, your knees up towards your elbows, sorry. Actively pressing that left shoulder down. So inhaling, bringing the knees up to center, and exhaling to the other side. And you're connecting with the breath if you lost that connection. Nice inhale, come all the way up to center. Poke your knees into your chest. Good squeeze. And release for Shavasana. So bring in your feet to mat distance. Just allowing your toes to roll out to the outside edges of your mat. Palms facing up. Allowing the shoulders to open. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then all the way up. Hold the breath at the top. Sip a bit more air inside. And exhale. Just spending a few moments in Shavasana. So scanning through your body, just looking for tightness and tension and discomfort. And just wiggling, rocking the toes side to side just to relax the hips, or rocking the hips side to side. Focusing on the muscles of the face and the jaw. Start to move the fingers and the toes. Rocking the head side to side, or rocking the feet side to side. And on your next inhale, big stretch. So stretch the fingers away from your toes. Stretch. And exhale to poke your knees into your chest. Oh, a big yawn from me. Maybe rocking side to side. Whenever you're ready, just making your way to a seat. So you can roll onto your side, or you can rock the length of the spine. And come to a seated position. So let's just take some closing breaths to finish our yoga practice. So let's inhale, reach up. Spread your fingers really wide and exhale through your mouth, reaching for the sides of the room and all the way back round to your heart center. Two more like this. Inhale, reach up. Big stretch. And exhale, really stretch for the sides of the room. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. And bring your hands to your heart center. So thanks so much for coming. We appreciate it very, very much. Usual bad call to the front to turn the camera off. So thank you so much for coming. I hope that was okay. Big love.
That was lovely.